Yeah, so our trees don't only create oxygen, but they also capture carbon. So when unmanaged forests are hit hard by wildfire, fewer trees grow, more are burned, and more carbon is released into our atmosphere, which scientists say is bad for our climate.
And we started with carbon just because of the climate connection and how it's really tied to wildfire and these kind of continual cycles that we see of large, severe fires across these forests in the West.
Travis Woolley is a forest and fire ecologist for the Nature Conservancy. He helped write the study, which identifies Arizona as one of the states that is most at risk of wildfire-caused carbon loss.
So we have lots of forest with carbon that's been sequestered over time and stored in those forests, but the real likelihood of large impactful wildfires are really high here.
He says a solution to this is more proactive forest management. It can reduce fire intensity and increase tree growth by 30%.
Where we could feasibly go in and thin forests, apply prescribed burning, and really help kind of restore those structures and processes that help keep those forests at lower risk from fire.
Woolley says the study encompasses areas where this work can be done that protects the public and the environment from wildfires.
If we can prioritize based on the values that we have in those forests, then we can actually do a better job of getting ahead of that problem.
And they are now looking into other factors that might reduce wildfire risk in our local forests, like water and biodiversity, so they can share that information with the federal government and decide what areas need the most work now. Reporting from Flagstaff, Mason Carroll for Arizona's Family.